Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the Female Bodybuilding podcast. If you like the content, please feel free to like and subscribe our channel. I'm Claudio, the host, and in today's episode, I have the honor to introduce you to a special guest from Australia. 22 Miss Natural Olympia, two times Physique PMBA world champion. I'm talking about the amazing Kristy Graham.
Thank you.
Hi, Kristy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How are
I'm
you?
good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for accepting my invite. It's great to have you here, and we can have a little chat about your past, present, and future.
Yep.
Fantastic. So, Kristy, first of all, yeah, you are from Australia,
That's
right?
right. Yeah, Australia. Up the north, sort of in the
Fant-
middle on the eastern side.
okay, which is Queensland, right?
Queensland, yeah. So I live on the Sunshine Coast, which is
Fantastic.
a little bit north of Brisbane, the capital city.
Yeah, which is fantastic. I've been there around 20 years ago. It's been a
Oh,
while,
really?
but one of the best trip I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, it's a
I love
really beautiful
Australia. So.
spot. It's like we're living on holidays all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. You've got perfect climate season. You've got a beautiful beach as well. So it's
Yeah.
like living
Very
in
lucky.
in paradise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very,
yeah, yeah,
very
yeah.
blessed.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, Kristy, first of all, let's start on how you began with your career as a bodybuilder. So, how did you start in bodybuilding? How did you get involved originally?
I only started training
Which,
to pursue bodybuilding 4 years ago. So,
4 years
yeah, so
ago,
not that
okay.
long ago. I've always been active, I've always been into sports, and I danced for a very long time, ballroom and Latin American dancing. And I'd never really
Oh,
been in the gym
nice.
much, but definitely on in front of people, I have been. Um, and yeah, after I had kids, I got into fitness to lose the baby weight and started doing
It's a
a little bit of weights, but not much. The usual scared of getting bulky and knowing,
that's a classic at the
yeah,
beginning, yeah, for every
yeah,
woman
yeah.
starting the sport, yeah.
And knowing that I could put on muscle fast, even just from my other sports, I put on a lot of muscle in compared to my other like female friends. And so I was always
Fair
scared to
enough.
lift weights to put on muscle because I didn't really see it as a positive. But after having kids, yeah, a few people said you should lift weights, and when I started, I just loved it. I couldn't stop.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So at the beginning you were not too convinced. You thought, all right, that's not the purpose why I joined the gym. But then you found
Yeah,
a new
once
passion
I
for the
started
sport,
lifting weights, the body changed really fast, and
and you liked
yeah,
the way it was
and I
changing.
didn't really know much about bodybuilding at all, actually. And a friend of
Okay.
mine said, "Oh, like you should come to this particular gym and talk to this particular coach, who is my coach from beginning and now." And
Oh, fantastic.
um, yeah, so I sat down with him and said, "Hey, do you reckon I could give this a shot?" Like, so
Yeah.
yeah, and then yeah, I'm the type that once I commit to something, I'm all in. So yeah,
That's fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah. So didn't you at the beginning have any concern or fear of the stage or going on stage in front of
I think
a big
I
crowd?
think going
Is it
on
something?
stage, like I danced for many years, and so
Oh yeah, you said that to
I
me. Yeah.
I definitely, even now, I still get really really nervous before going on stage. But there's something about being on stage that I love and feel quite calm about once I'm on stage. But definitely a
Okay.
difference between getting on stage in, a dress or a frock and a bikini. So in
Yeah,
very little
exactly.
clothing. So that was definitely confronting for me. I like to stay quite covered up. I'm always covered up, even in the gym. Um, just how I was brought up. But yeah, and that was a challenge definitely to get in a bikini and in front of everyone, even just checking in with coach and others.
You the coach, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that was quite challenging, but it's all part of the process, right?
Exactly. I think, yeah, it's mainly at the beginning, doing something that is new
Yeah,
to you, especially doing it, in front of an audience sometimes can be a little bit intimidating,
yeah,
but once you break the ice and you start feeling comfortable on stage, I think you just go with the flow and you
yeah.
enjoy the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Once I'm out there, I'm definitely, yeah, I really love it. Really love it.
Awesome, awesome. And can you tell us a little bit what were your feelings and emotions when you stepped on stage for the first time, and then the other competitions that you did? Which one was your best moment, your highlights during these competitions?
Highlight up until now would definitely be one. Natural Olympia was definitely pretty cool in Vegas. That
Yeah.
was nearly two.
Oh, it was
It
in
was in
Vegas,
Vegas,
right?
yeah.
In 2022, yeah?
2022, yeah. So going on nearly 2 years ago. But in the June before that, in
Wow.
June 2022, I went to Florence in Italy and competed.
Oh, my country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um,
I'm originally from Italy, even though I don't live there anymore,
yeah,
but that's
so
where I'm from.
I traveled over to Italy because the PMBA had their World Championships in Florence. So that
Wow.
was an amazing experience for me. I went by myself
Wow.
and yeah, competed
All
there, and
right.
yeah, incredible. That one really stands out for me.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And that, the one in Italy was the PNBA
Yeah, yeah,
World
yeah.
Champion. Yeah. Because, yeah, I see on your page, yeah, you are two times Physique PNBA World Champion. So did you do them both
I did
in Italy or one
Italy,
in
one
Italy?
World Championships in Italy, and then one in Los Angeles before I went to Vegas for Natural Olympia.
Ah, you went also to
Yeah.
LA. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you're used to go on international stage.
Yeah, going overseas does. I've traveled quite a bit when I was younger as well. So going overseas doesn't bother me so much. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
nervous, but
excellent.
no, not so much. As you know, this year I'm coming to London. So
Oh yes,
um,
yes. I wanted to get to that
yeah,
point in a
later,
minute.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's gonna be exciting.
definitely really exciting. I'm a little bit nervous about that. I feel like it's a much bigger, better, scarier
Well,
experience.
well,
But yeah.
true, true, true. And actually, I was looking into the updates of the show, and it seems like it's going to be a big
Oh,
event.
great.
So
Yeah.
you will have a great time. And also, lots of pro athletes are appearing in the list of
Oh, good.
competitors.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great event, especially because here in the UK we're not used to have this kind of level of event.
Yeah, it's a
So
big one.
usually it's
Yeah.
like regional or national shows, but yeah, this one is a proper
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
So both pro qualifier and Olympia qualifier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So that's why I chose it.
you
To go, yeah,
fantastic,
a big
fantastic.
one,
Yeah.
probably very hard, good quality, and the opportunity for the amateur in the morning and pro at night. So
Yes, exactly. That's another great thing. So yeah, if you qualify, you can compete straight away
yeah, yeah, which is
in the
really
evening.
cool.
So
Yeah.
that's fantastic. And to be honest, yeah, looking at your current condition and shape, I mean, you have the quality, maturity on your muscles to be a pro. So I don't see why you shouldn't. Trust
We'll do
me.
our best. We'll do
Yeah,
our very best. We
you belong
promise.
to the pro stage.
Yeah.
That's for
That's the
sure.
dream. That's the
I
dream.
just I just hope there's gonna be enough athletes to make up the minimum
Yeah, that's
requirements.
and it's something that we might not know until we get there, I guess.
Yeah, that's the problem because usually they release the full list like a week before.
Yeah.
But but one thing I've seen lately is that if even if there is one competitor, if the quality of the athlete is pro level, I mean you can still do a request
Yeah.
and they
We'll
can approve.
definitely
That's
look
it.
at that. Like that would, yeah. Hopefully, I hope that there's enough competitors on stage.
Yeah, I think there will
Yeah,
be enough people.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's a great opportunity all over Europe. So sorry, my Alexa started speaking to me without any
That's
reason. I don't
okay.
know what's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the dream.
Um,
Like from I competed in Italy, and then the same year I went to Vegas and competed in Vegas, and came back with the Natural Olympia Physique title. And then yeah, the next step was to going to IFBB or NPC. So I knew that I needed time and a lot of hard work and a lot of size because I wanted to do women's physique straight up. So yeah,
yeah.
so I took the time and yeah, set the 2 year goal from Natural Olympia to go into MPC, and so that's what I've done.
Oh, that's fantastic. And by the way, I think there is another Australian athlete that you know, Tracy,
Tracy,
that
yeah,
she did.
yeah,
Yeah, she did the qualifier to for the pro card,
yeah,
and then she qualified to the Olympia,
yeah.
which was amazing.
Incredible,
Yeah.
yeah. I actually went down to Brisbane. She lives close by, so only an hour's drive from me. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, yeah,
So
she's in Queensland as
yeah,
well. Yeah.
so a couple of weeks ago I went down to Brisbane and we did a little training session together. So hopefully in the next couple of
Oh,
weeks we can do the same
fantastic.
again. But yeah, she's a really cool chick.
Yeah. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be an amazing experience, and I will be there as well, so I will not miss. It's Itro, a little bit far from where I live, like an hour and a half, but I'm not gonna miss
Yeah, good.
this
Good. I
event.
look forward to
It's
meeting you in
supposed to
person.
be. Yeah, yeah. We will do like an interview in
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
when we meet over there. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Right. So, what I wanted to ask you, yeah, about this show. How has your prep been for this show? How many weeks is your prep? How are you feeling?
This prep was so what I have to qualify before I come to London. So I will actually compete in 3.5 weeks at a
Okay,
regional show here in Australia. So I've never competed in NPC IFBB before. So
okay,
I have to do to qualify to go to your pro qualifier in Heathrow. I have to do a regional show or a state. We call it a state show here in Australia.
okay.
So we do have one. It's in another state, so I'm going to fly into state to do it. Yeah, to qualify to
Right. So you
come.
have to
So
fly.
I will compete on the 1st of September,
Okay.
and then the following weekend fly to London. But so I'm actually only
Wow.
three. I've got 3.5 weeks till first time I step back on stage, and I'm sort of glad that I am stepping on stage once before I come to London to get the nerves out a
Yeah,
little bit. I
to
think
warm up.
it's
Yeah,
been a couple of
exactly,
years,
exactly.
so um,
All
yeah. But
right.
prep this one because I did such a big build has been 24 weeks. It'll be 24, so a long
24
prep.
weeks. Wow.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
did a big build, put on a lot of weight, so all has to come off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What's your current weight?
Right now, right
Yeah,
now, 73,
yeah. Right now,
73 kilos.
73.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good
So I'm
weight. Yeah.
pretty.
Do you have a yeah? Do you have a target weight for the stage, or you go
Not
with the
really
look
now.
with the
It's all
mirror?
about condition now. So we'll push for
All
condition.
condition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, the scale doesn't matter really. We're not judged on that
Yeah,
number.
yeah.
So
Exactly,
I mean, it gives
exactly.
you an indication
It's the
of
look.
size, I guess, if you knew body weight and
Exactly,
but
but
um, yeah, here in Australia we have Tracy. She's our top girl in women's physique,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't really have any like one at the moment. We've got a couple of girls coming up that look really good, that have been on that international stage. So we don't
Oh wow.
know how we're gonna size up, but we're just gonna take our very best. So yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
definitely, definitely. I mean, according to your recent pictures and videos, yeah, you are more than ready for
I
sure. You
hope
still have
so.
got a few weeks
Yeah.
to
We'll dial
make
it
it
in, and
perfect.
yeah, condition is our jam. We love condition, so would have seen the
Yeah.
photos from Natural Olympia and the World Champs. So we're hoping to top that for London.
Oh
Yes.
yes, I'm sure. I'm sure you will. Also because I mean, conditioning has been probably the main criteria for judges in women's physique. So they look at that a lot more than size and well, of course, symmetry as
Hmm.
well. But compared to a few years ago, yeah, now conditioning
Condition
has
is,
become
yeah, it's getting pretty
more.
wild. Some of the girls I see.
Yeah, yeah, very extreme.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's and to be fair, there is a very thin line between some women's physique athlete and women's bodybuilding.
Yeah, that's
So
yeah.
it's hard to place
To
it in the
place it in
right
the right,
division.
yeah, yeah. A couple of people have said, "Am I doing both? Am I going to compete in the amateur show in bodybuilding and women's physique?" I didn't.
Yeah, that's
I
a
didn't think about doing that. I really want to be in women's physique, but I don't.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. Do I get judges' feedback or go from there? Maybe.
Yeah, why not? Are you still in time eventually
Yeah,
to
yeah. I can
enter?
still I've
Yeah.
registered for women's physique, but yeah. I mean, I could do
Okay.
both, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah, you're focusing on women also
Yeah.
because the mandatory poses are slightly
Slightly
different
different. I can
as
do
well.
I can do
Yeah,
both. Like I've practiced both,
you can
but
do both.
um,
You've been practicing both, so
yeah. But I think
fantastic.
women's physique is really my dream where I want to be. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. And I think it suits you very well. So I'm sure you will do a great
thank
show.
you. I'll
That's
do my very
I
best.
have no doubt. I have no doubt. And do you have your routine ready as well? You're still preparing it?
Yeah, I because I used to dance for many many years. I choreographed
Oh
my own
yes,
routine, and so I
fantastic.
actually really really love doing the routines. So I'll do a different one in Melbourne that might qualify here, and then a different one again
Mhm.
in. I'll change it up for London.
So it's gonna have like a Latin American theme because you were
Maybe
doing
not.
dancing. No.
I think with my
Okay. So
routines, you can definitely tell that I've danced before, um, just with the flow and that. But yeah, maybe
a few
maybe
moves,
no
a few dancing
salsa in
moves.
this one.
Ah, yeah. Also because yeah, for salsa you need two people, right?
Yeah,
You
that's
can't do
true. I mean, you can do it
salsa.
by yourself, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, no,
But
yeah.
I'm sure that your dancing background will definitely
I think
help
it
with the
definitely helps. I
execution of the
think a lot
routine.
of the girls who even teach posing, they come from either a background of
Oh
dancing or
yeah,
gymnastics or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it definitely
Absolutely.
helps with
Yeah.
that control of the body and the flow of the movement and that. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, exactly, and also the confidence on
that
stage.
stage confidence. Yeah,
It's a great background having this dancing experience. That's for sure. Yeah, yeah. And you were saying that you're still using the same coach
yes, I am.
that
Yes,
you start with.
yeah.
Yeah, would you like to tell us something about your coach, your work you did together?
Yeah, we literally started because a girlfriend of mine introduced me. He owns and runs a gym very close to where I live, here on the Sunshine Coast.
Okay.
So I actually train with him in person 5 days a week as well. So
Oh, wow.
I think
So
that's
you're one of the lucky ones that can
very,
train
I'm
and
extremely
yeah,
lucky. I'm so grateful, and
wow.
I do think that that has played a huge role in my, like,
Yeah.
how much I've been able to change my physique, especially in the last 2 years. I've trained with that crazy man 5 days a week. See him probably
Oof.
6, sometimes 7, and so it really means that
Wow.
we have a great, like a brother and sister relationship. Um,
Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome.
but
That's
it just means that we're so close, and it that you can talk about anything, you can be completely open, completely transparent, and which means you can sort of go to that next level as well with your, you know, what I can do as an athlete. So I just have him on tap pretty much, which is pretty unheard
wow.
of. Yeah,
Yeah, especially because yeah, speaking to other athletes, sometimes they go with the big names in terms of coaching. So, and these coaches may have, I don't know, maybe 100, 200 clients. So sometimes is difficult to to keep the attention of the
yeah,
coach straight on, or have their time when you need them all the time.
yeah.
But
I
in
think
your case,
especially in this,
yeah,
this
it's
pointy end of prep, the fact that I see him every single day, he checks my condition in person
yeah,
every single
in
day,
person,
and
yes, yeah.
that is, that's a one percenter that no one else, or a lot of other athletes
Oh
don't
yeah,
have.
no,
And
they
trust me,
probably never see
I
their
know how
coaches.
lucky I
Yeah,
am. I really do.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's fantastic. Is he traveling with you to London?
Probably not to London. He's
Okay,
coming down to.
it's a long
It's a
journey
long
actually.
and it's
Yeah,
expensive.
expensive, especially because from Australia flying to Europe nowadays since COVID, I think all the prices
Yeah,
for flights
everything
have
is so
been
expensive, but
skyrocketing.
it'll be worth it.
Oh
It'll be
yeah,
worth
yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah, so he
It
will
will be
come. Him and his wife and children actually are going to come also. That's the thing about the gym, and like, um, I've become friends with him and his family, and the
that's
gym is a really huge community. It's like a family. So the support I
oh
have
wow.
there it's just incredible. Like, I definitely don't feel alone ever. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's actually the next question. Next question I wanted to ask you: if within your community, the bodybuilding community, if you get support but yeah, you've already you
There's
just
not such a
answered. Yeah,
huge bodybuilding, like there is a small bodybuilding community, but I feel like
yeah, but
my big my biggest support is my husband and children. But
wow,
yeah,
that's
the
great.
next biggest would definitely be the gym, and credit to my coach and his wife for creating the community that they have. Every single day I walk in there, and I'm starting to look like a skeleton, and like the bones are coming out and the bags are under the eyes, and the brain's
It's
not working
prep.
quite
Yeah,
as well or quite as sharp as it usually is. And I might not be as smiley as I am, but even this morning I went
well,
into
it's
the
part
gym,
of.
and I've just run 6 low days, and I'm like, oh. Walking in, and the first thing I'm greeted with Kristy, you're amazing. Like, this is so exciting. Like, we
Wow,
can't wait to see you. And it just, if there was any doubt in my mind, it's just piped up so much as soon as I walk in the door, and I literally get that every single day, and I'm just, yeah,
wow.
it's really priceless.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And this is the kind of environment where all the athletes would like
Yeah,
to work,
yeah,
and without being, uh, judged or without being not feeling comfortable
yeah,
in the place where you train and spend a lot of time. So it's important to be able to be in this kind of
yeah,
environment where you feel appreciated, you're looked as a role model. So
Yeah.
this is very,
And we
very
don't hide
important.
anything in there. We don't hide the hard work. So everyone sees what I do day in, day out. And I think that's important too, because then they feel like that everyone's a part of it in there. So they see the hard days. We don't.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they will be following your competition on the live streaming.
Yeah,
There will be a live streaming of the show, so everybody will be
yeah.
cheering for you from the distance.
And then yeah, I have a hobby, and I have 3 children. So
Oh
yes,
yes, yes,
so
and they are very supportive as well.
they
You were
are
saying, yeah.
so supportive. Like
Wow.
I could, yeah, you couldn't buy that support. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I very first competed, I was going to get into bodybuilding. I said to my husband, I'd like to give this a go, and he's like, yeah, give it a go. Why not? Like,
Yeah.
you've
Good.
got the body, you can do it. You've got the strength. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then the very, very first show was actually held here on the Sunshine Coast through a small, there's a federation called ICN. It's called I Compete Natural. And it was a
Okay.
small show.
I see.
And I went in and I won some categories and I didn't win some other categories. But I did really well overall. And I loved it. And my husband said, like, you're good at this. You could
Yeah.
actually do this. And I said, like, can I go all at it? And he's like, if you're gonna do it, you go 120%. So literally
Wow.
from then, I've he's supported everything. There's nights that I come home at 2 o'clock in the morning after doing, workout or whatever, and
Wow.
he helps with the kids, and so it's
Fantastic.
it's if you
That's perfect.
yeah. You couldn't do it
Yeah,
alone,
wow.
like not to this level and
No,
not
no,
to
no.
the extent that I have been blessed to be able to do it. Especially these last 2 years. Um, yeah, I couldn't have done it alone. There's absolutely no way.
Yeah, no, I can imagine, especially having your husband and your kids supporting you, cheering for you, and living this whole experience all together. That
Mm.
gives you also like a, a
Another,
further motivation to
yeah.
keep pushing
I
and keep
always say
going.
it's another it's
So
another
that's
piece of fuel on the fire. Especially the kids. They're still only young, so they're watching. They
how,
watch
how old are they?
11, 9, and 7.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
3 boys. So
So
yeah,
yeah,
they're only young and they're watching. Kids always watch. They're watching what you're doing and what you're achieving. So I think, not that they have to get in the gym or bodybuild or anything like that, but I think the big lesson is you have to work your ass off if you want something good and you want to be successful.
absolutely.
And yeah, I think I'm showing them that. So
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you are a great inspiration for them because they can see you have a goal and you working so hard to reach that goal.
mm,
So for them, yeah, it's a great inspiration, but not only for bodybuilding, for anything.
anything in
So
life,
this means
yeah,
that anything in
yes,
life, if you have that passion, if you have that dedication to work hard and reach your goals, you can do it,
yeah.
and you're proving them that's possible, which is
Yeah, and
amazing,
you don't
amazing.
realize how much they're watching and how much they learn just from watching your actions and what you do and how you hold yourself and how much work you put in. My littlest one, he's obsessed with soccer, and he
Okay,
loves soccer. Every
that's
day he's in a different
fair
Ronaldo
enough.
uniform, and so he's outside, and we have a big open patio outside, and he was outside one night a few weeks ago, and it was like 10 o'clock at night and he's 7. So I'm like, hey, like
All right,
it's time to go to bed.
it's
You got
time
school
to.
tomorrow.
Mhm.
And he's like, oh, I just want to play soccer a little bit more. And I was like, yeah, but you've got school. Like, you've got to go to bed. Anyway, he turned around to me and said, hey, Mom, how did you become world champion? And I just went,
Wow, that's a
oh.
great answer.
You
You
picked
can't
that,
say anything to
mother.
that. Keep playing
Yeah,
for the rest of the night as long
yeah,
as
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
did.
yeah.
I was like, you know what? You're right. Like, I've instilled that in you. You've seen me come home at midnight, absolutely shattered. You've seen me get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go and get steps before comp. Like, and I never hide anything
Yeah,
because I always said I will show them what I need to do to get to where I'm going, and so that they don't think it's just been given to me. They need to know that you've got to
true.
work hard at something. And as much as he threw it back in my face, I was like, you know what? High five.
Yeah, yeah,
And I said to
he's
him, I'm going
absolutely
to bed,
right.
so
Yeah.
you come and wake me up when you're hungry or whatever. And he was out there playing soccer till nearly midnight. And I was just like,
Wow.
go for it. As long as you get up for school the next
Yeah.
day, because I have to get up for work. So
Yeah,
you go
exactly.
for it. So, but yeah, so that was pretty
Exactly.
cool.
The Yeah, the important is it doesn't skip school, but
Yep,
yeah, if you want to put extra time and practice and do what he loves, yeah, keep
yep,
going. Fair enough. And I think, yeah, seeing you, what you do, and all the hard work you put in what you do, yes, it's also an extra motivation for him to keep going. So that's excellent. Yeah. And yeah, you were saying, yeah, you have three kids and your husband is very supportive and is helping you with the kids, so that allows you to be able to plan your day
yeah. I'm still very
and
active
do
with the kids.
everything.
Like every morning, I get them off to school, and and
Yeah.
home with them and whatever. But yeah, I definitely have a lot more support than I think a lot do. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, wow, that's awesome. And the other thing I wanted to ask you is about in the world of bodybuilding in Australia. What is it like over there? Is it growing? Is it becoming more and more popular? Yeah, I know there's always been great Australian
yeah. We do
athletes
have some really
competing.
great names come from Australia over the
Yeah.
years. I think it went quiet there for a little while, and I think there's some good names coming through again now.
Oh yeah,
There's some
yeah.
really quality athletes coming. Have to remember we have hardly a population here. We're only
Yeah,
tiny.
exactly. I mean, you are as big as a
Yeah,
continent, but with a population
as a city.
smaller than Italy.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah. So we have a really small
it's
population here in Australia. But considering the small population, I think it's a decent bodybuilding community. And I think even though it's a small
absolutely.
community, we have a lot of quality athletes. And the quality is definitely across all categories, male and female, is definitely getting
Yeah.
bigger and bigger. And I think over the next couple of years, you'll see more Australian flags being held at the Olympia. Definitely.
Wow,
Mm.
that's fantastic. Also because I mean geographically, yeah, you are a little bit far away from all
Definitely at a
the.
disadvantage, yeah, because we don't have access to, like, even a pro show. We don't have a pro show here.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
like, we have to travel. As soon as we turn pro,
You have to travel.
we can't compete in Australia anymore, which is a real shame. And I hope the popularity and the quality of athletes increases enough to warrant holding a pro show, because I think that would open us up to the rest of the world with
Yeah.
IFBB, getting some pros from overseas coming
Yes.
to Australia, even to have an Olympia qualifier here would be really, really special, really cool.
Yeah, yeah. At least one big
Yeah,
show. Yeah, that would be fun. Like they started doing here in the UK. From this is the first big pro show. Before it was only like pro qualifiers and regional show. So this is something new here in the UK, which is great. They started doing something like that also in
yeah, yeah,
Italy. Of course, we have Spain, Portugal, Romania in Europe. So there are different options. Not as many as they have in the United States, but hopefully these things will extend also to Australia.
Yeah, I
We
really hope so.
have
And
one good
I
show.
think a lot of athletes now are definitely traveling more. Like a lot of Australian athletes.
Mm-hmm.
I know even some of
Yeah,
the women's physique girls that are competing this coming months. They're traveling after they compete here. Like I have to qualify, they also have to qualify to go overseas. Um, then
yeah,
they, yeah, going like one girl I think is going to Romania in November, and
yeah.
something like
Who
this.
is? Hmm?
The girls are,
Pardon? Can you say them?
one of the girls I think is going to Romania in November.
Oh,
Yeah, to
oh, all
compete.
right. I'm gonna go to
Oh,
Romania as well,
really?
so
Yeah.
I will probably. I have been in the last for the last 2 years. I love the show over there, so I try to go every year. It's a really really
Oh,
good show,
good.
and it's a Wings of Strength
Ah, yes, it is.
show,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so you've got Jake Wood, Alina Pop behind it. So it's the organization is perfect. So and again, that's another show where they do the amateur on the
And then the
Saturday and
pros
the
on the
pro
Sunday.
on the
Yeah.
Sunday.
There's the
So
opportunity.
whoever can compete. And last year there was this lady. I think she's from Russia. I think, and she won the amateur show, and she got like third or fourth in the pro
Oh wow,
show.
yeah.
It was yeah, and now she's qualified. This year she qualified for the Olympia,
Ah.
so she's competing in women's. Natalia, not I can't remember the surname, but yeah, and she's 56, 54,
Ah, I
55.
know who you're talking about. Dark hair, dark hair. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, with the
Yep.
glasses.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah, and this she will be at the
So
Olympia.
cool.
And last year, oh, 1 year ago, she was just
Oh, yeah.
no, she wasn't even a
Oh,
pro.
amateur. So she went. Yeah.
Yeah, she got pro in November, and then now she already qualified
So
for the
good in the same
Olympia.
year.
Incredible. Yeah,
That would be a
yeah,
dream
yeah,
come
yeah.
true.
So yeah, if you keep working like
Yeah.
this, it will
Yeah.
happen. I'm sure you've got all the potentials to be on that stage. So I'm feeling confident you will have a lots of success. Yeah, and also yeah, Australia is the country where the very first big female bodybuilder started. You remember, yeah, Bev
Yeah.
Francis?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she lives in America, but
We
she's
get
from
her out
Australia,
now
and
to be on the judging panel for our shows out here.
yeah, her husband is also head judge,
Yes.
isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So she's the one that make all this start.
Yeah. Exciting.
So it's very very exciting. Yeah. Um, I wanted to ask you about sponsors. Do you have any sponsors
I'm
at
sponsored
the
by
moment?
Glam Fit Bikinis. Glam Fit are an
Glamfit
Australian
bikinis.
bikini
Yeah.
company. Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
I will put it. I will put the link
yep, Glam
in the
Fit
podcast.
Bikinis.
Yeah.
And all of my lifting, wear belts and straps and all of that sort of thing. I'm sponsored by Harris Stability Systems. So I can send you them.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yes, please. If you let me know their details, I will put everything in this podcast. And apart from preparing from competition, do you have also? I mean, what do you do? Do you work in the
Yes,
industry?
I
Are
do coach as
you a
well.
person
In,
coaching as
yeah,
well?
coaching as well, in person and online. So,
Ah,
yeah.
okay. So yeah, well, I can put the links as well. Do you have also an Instagram page for your coaching, or
I usually just go through
you
my
use
page.
the
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
your page? Okay, that's fantastic. Another question I wanted to ask you, because yeah, you're moving from PNBA to NPC. Um, can you tell us if there are any differences in the posing in the physique divisions between the, or it's the same mandatory poses that you're
The
going to
posing
do?
itself is very similar,
Very
very
similar, yeah.
similar. A couple of differences. Yeah, there are a couple of differences in like hand positioning and that sort of thing. Yeah,
Okay,
the
okay.
main difference would be heels. So in
Oh, because we were wearing
yeah,
heels.
so even
Okay,
though we would
yeah,
do
that's
the
a big difference.
muscularity poses, we were in heels for physique and PMBA. We would take
I
our heels
see.
off for the posing routine, the 60-second routine.
Yeah.
But the mandatory posing round was in heels. So that's definitely different,
Okay.
like doing all the mandatory poses barefoot. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
but yeah, so I've enjoyed tweaking that and changing that up a little bit and making sure I'm happy with it. But yeah,
yeah.
it's pretty similar. Pretty similar. Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
similar, yeah. But I guess, yeah, being able to compete without heels probably is a relief, or because
I think because I
everybody.
danced for so long, heels didn't
Oh, so you used.
bother me.
Okay.
But I was excited to hang the heels up. Yes,
Yeah, yeah, no, because
one less thing
most
to
of the women's.
pack.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And one thing, most of the women's physique athletes have been talking to, they were coming from the figure division. And one thing they always said is they were happy to give up
The
the
heels,
heels and be
yeah,
able to be free
yeah.
on stage. Yeah, yeah. To be honest, I don't know. I never wore heels, so I don't know if it's comfortable or not. But I can imagine, yeah, it must be, yeah, it must be different to be able to pose without,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, probably,
it's
yeah,
a
a bit more
massive
comfortable.
yeah, absolutely. um Also, one thing I wanted to oh, sorry, I think we're, yeah, going a little bit. I don't want to take too much of your time, but do you have time
Yeah,
for
that's
a
okay.
couple of more
Yeah.
questions? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Bodybuilding has been growing a lot in the recent years, and I wanted to see to know your opinion about the future of the sport, especially for the harder divisions like
Mm.
women's physique and women's bodybuilding. Do you think they are going to keep growing? Do you think they are becoming less popular? What's because especially referring to what we were saying, that sometimes there are not enough
Mm.
athletes to make the prof qualification and so on. So, or some shows being, I mean, some
Division's
of
been
these divisions
cancelled
being
even in shows.
cancelled
Yeah.
from in some
That's a real
shows. So,
hard one,
so
isn't
for
it?
example, tomorrow. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
not tomorrow. This weekend there is the Texas Pro, but there is no women's bodybuilding. There's
Oh,
women's
really?
physique with like 24 athletes, which is
Wow.
great. A lot.
Yeah.
I think 24. It's huge, huge, huge. But there's no women's bodybuilding, so I'm wondering, what's are they moving into physique? Are they moving to different? What do you think is
I don't
happening?
know really. I mean, athlete wise, we're just getting bigger and leaner, right, every year.
Yeah,
Even in the women's
yeah,
divisions. And is is that becoming unachievable, or is that becoming less desirable? I don't know. Like, I think it's a particular type of woman who wants to thrive for that and push for that and are willing to push the body to get to that stage, and to get to that level. It's not something that everyone, I think, is willing to do, and it's hard. It's hard
yes.
work. It's really
Trust
hard
me,
work.
it's
So it's
super
definitely a
hard.
level up, I think. So yeah, that's a real hard one. Is I
Yeah,
think that comes
also,
down to what the federations
yeah,
are going
that's
to
what I
do with
wanted
their
to say.
criteria. Are they going to keep letting the criterias get bigger and bigger, or are they going to put a limit on it and say, hey, like enough is enough. This is where we want you to stay. Because I think, like you sort of said, there's a fine line, really fine line now between women's physique and bodybuilding. I mean, even when I went down and seen Tracy, she's like, "Are you sure you're not in bodybuilding?" I'm like, "No, I'm pretty sure physique." You know,
Well,
so
she's super conditioned, but maybe size-wise, she's more physique. But conditioning, her conditioning is very very hardcore. She's very very conditioned, which is what brought her to be a pro and qualify for the Olympia, because it looks like, especially in women's physique, they're pushing to the extreme
they want
conditioning.
condition, yeah. Whereas the
Yeah,
bodybuilding, they don't seem quite as conditioned. So look, I guess it just comes back to the criteria of the category
yeah,
and yeah, how far they're willing to push it. How far are they willing
yeah.
to let the girls go?
The
Yeah.
the funny thing, I think we had a discussion on a topic with the female bodybuilding channel regarding the Chicago Pro, which was 2 3 weeks ago. The Miss International one in women's bodybuilding, which was for the pro qualifier, and there were some ladies. The lady that won, to me, she was super conditioned, but she didn't have the size for women's bodybuilding. So I think she would have been perfect for women's
Physique,
physique.
yeah.
While the lady that had the size for women's bodybuilding, she wasn't as conditioned as the other one. But who won was the condition girl. So that's when I got confused, because if for me, if women's physique is more about conditioning and women's bodybuilding is more about
Size.
size, yes, still conditioning, but not as because
Yeah.
more size you put to get condition
Is
is even
hard. Yeah.
harder. So for me, that was a competition between woman bodybuilder and a woman physique, which in the women's bodybuilding division. So yeah, it was difficult to understand what was the criteria, but to me it seemed like that's another women's physique
Yeah, okay.
that
I
is
guess that's
qualifying.
something here in Australia, like I was saying before, we don't have many athletes at that high level, so it's hard for us to know where everyone's sitting, size and condition wise, until we go overseas. And that's the reason why I chose the London show, a big hard show, and you know I would love so much to be on that pro stage and see where I stand up size and
Yeah,
condition about with those pros. You know, there's probably going to be pros on there that who have already qualified for Olympia, so or that you know that are Olympians.
yeah.
So to get an idea of size and condition would be perfect, and you can't tell from photos or you know you
No,
can
no,
sort
yeah,
of
you need to
see you
see it
know
in
from
person.
photos or videos. And I mean someone like myself, I don't really post any physique updates. I don't post much you know declothed
Hmm.
either, so it's really hard to see where someone's standing or how big they are. You know, in stage photos everyone looks big. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so it's really hard to see that standard. So that's what I'm really interested to see when I go to London. See how big everyone
Exactly.
is and how
And
conditioned everyone is in person on that stage under those stage lights. Yeah.
yeah, that's the best way. So you can confront yourself with others and being on the same stage
Yeah,
and doing the same poses. Yeah, you can see where you stand.
yeah, and then what you need to work on for
That's
the
what.
next year.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Plus, you will get feedback from the judges, and
Yeah, and especially a
it's
judging panel who are you know well known and
yeah, yeah. That's
Olympia
another
judges as
important
well.
thing.
You know, that's exciting to have
True.
that level of judge have their eyes on you and give you feedback is really important.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gonna be a great experience all over. So Yeah, you will love it. I'm looking forward to that show because yeah, it's supposed to be a big one, and everybody here is waiting for it. One last question I wanted to ask you, which I ask everyone, and I wanted to see your view. Okay, so what is about bodybuilding that you love most, and what is it that you like less, and you would like, or you would like to change in the sport, if there
Ooh.
is anything?
Um, well, something I would like to change.
Something that could be anything. I don't know. Some athletes said that the prize money, yeah, for women is not the same as the men, which
I think
can be.
that's maybe that's a question for after I've been in NPC and like competed for a little bit. I feel like I'm starting all over again.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
I'm not really sure. Like I haven't competed in this federation as yet, in my own country or overseas. So at the moment, I feel like I'm a little fish in a big sea, and
Fair
yeah,
enough.
a
Yeah,
newbie
you.
with no expectations and not really sure. So in that regard, like I don't know what I haven't experienced yet, so I don't
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Fair
yeah,
enough.
how that would go.
Fair enough.
Um, yeah, so
And
let's
what you
see what
love
happens
most?
there.
Yeah, yeah. And what is it that you love most
The
about?
thing I love
Could be
most
anything. Yeah.
about bodybuilding is the mental challenges that come with it.
Okay.
I love finding mental challenges all the way through, whether it be building, prepping, training, nutrition, even like coaching bodybuilding. There's so many hurdles as a solo athlete, as a bodybuilder that you go through, um, mental, physical, hormonal, everything, um, and finding ways to level up around all that mental is. I'm just fascinated, and I think the whole game is mental. The whole being a
Yeah,
bodybuilder
yeah,
is
yeah.
all about being mentally strong, and the body will follow.
Yes,
So
yes.
I said in a podcast before, when I first competed, I was fascinated with how the body changed and what the body could do, and then after my first competition, I was like, well, this is not actually a physical challenge. This is a mental challenge,
It's a mental challenge. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and who is the strongest? Who's the strongest mentally? Because the person who's the strongest mentally will be able to take their body to another level. And so I'm always trying to find
Exactly.
how can I mentally challenge myself? How can I level up my mindset, my mental, and so that the body will follow it. So whether it be in my training sessions, in every rep, every set, whether it be about my food, whether it be about my sleep, whether it be about reconnecting with my body, all of those sort of things. I'm chasing one percenters everywhere to try and level up mentally, and I just find it fascinating of as you level up mentally how doors open. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
find that this is the
Absolutely.
bodybuilding is the first experience in my life that has been so challenging in that realm.
Yeah, yeah. Because at the end, as you were saying, I mean, you can have the physical part when you train and everything, but it's not over when you leave the gym. So it's a total
It's a
lifestyle,
complete
twenty four
lifestyle. Yeah.
seven. Yeah, so you have to be ready and dedicated to that and make sacrifices because every little mistake can affect your final
Yeah,
result.
100%. And I
So,
think people don't realize how like simple yet
yeah, yeah,
sensitive the process is, especially if you want to go to a really high level. There's only one spot on that podium, and so the athletes who are really chasing that high spot are they're mentally strong. They're all about how can they level up the brain, how can they rewire that brain so it's invincible. um, and so after my first comp, That's what I got fascinated with. Like, how can I, the body and the training, I leave that with the coach, but my job is to make myself so mentally strong that I can withstand anything that's thrown at me, whether it be injury, whether it be whatever, which I've had a couple of biggies over the last, year and a half in my build, pushing the body to that limit. Injury is going to happen. And that's something that it puts a lot of athletes on their butt and they stop because injury
Yeah,
really, yeah, it's a huge mental challenge. But I found that going through injury, and even problems outside of the gym, it helps you level up as an athlete.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, this is something that in this sport is very very important. You need to be ready, like to give the full of yourself, everything about yourself, to put into the sport, and sacrifices, because sometimes you may have, I don't know, friends going out for dinner or doing some sort of activities, but of course you have a certain plan to follow, especially if you are on prep.
Hmm.
So it's not that you can, okay, I switch for today and then
Yeah, no.
tomorrow I get back into it. No, it doesn't work like that. So that's why I admire so much athletes like yourself, and all everybody that is involved and compete in the sport, because the mental strength, the dedication behind it is admirable. Yeah, it's not only for the sport, but it's also for the life, for life.
Yeah, I
It's
think
something that drives
yeah,
you.
I think it crosses over into life as well. Definitely. The mental
Yeah,
challenges and then the mental lessons, and leveling up that I've been able to do through my bodybuilding has definitely helped my
yeah,
relationships, my work life, my business, my relationship with my husband, the way I teach my
yes,
kids,
exactly.
it definitely crosses over into
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. All this, the discipline behind
Hmm.
it. If you can do that, you can do
Yeah.
anything in the world. So that's something that I really love about the sport. Yeah. All right, I think we nearly reached the hour. Sorry, I got a little bit over the time, but Christy, thank you so
No,
much for your
you're
time.
most
It
welcome.
was
Thank you for having me.
amazing. It's been great, and we're gonna do another one in person in London
Yes,
during the show.
sure.
Yeah.
Look forward to it.
So looking forward to see you on that stage, and cheer for you.
Thank
That's
you.
for sure.
Appreciate
Okay.
it.
Cool. I will upload the file for this interview in the next couple of days, and I will tag
Okay.
you in the post, and I'll add also, if you can send me the maybe some links
Yeah,
for your
sure. My coach,
sponsor, and
the
I
gym.
will.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I will put everything
Okay.
in this episode in the description.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much again,
You're
Christy,
welcome. Thank
and
you.
I'll speak to you soon. Yeah, have a good
Thank
night,
you.
because
Good
it's
night.
evening. Yeah, where
Yes,
else?
it's nice.
Thank you, thank you. Ciao, ciao. Bye.